show, keep it live, that's right. From Pennsylvania to across the globe, it's time for the Steelers All-Star Show.
Welcome to the Steelers by the Lake podcast. My name is James Strong, joined by all of my co-hosts today, Cody, Nick, and Jill. How you guys doing this wonderful Saturday morning?
I'm letting someone else take the reins today.
It is early, it is cold, but I am awake and I am here and I am excited to talk about our first matchup of the regular season. Steelers football is back. Jill, how are you this morning?
I'm a little under the weather, but I'm really excited about Steeler football. Cody, how are you doing?
I'm doing just ducky, already been up, been to Erie, got some donuts, coffee, chocolate milk. We're ready to talk Steelers football. James, how are you? Those burgers we had at your place last night were quite delicious.
I'm doing all right, man. It was nice having you guys. For those of you who don't know, this was the first time Nick and I met in person. So had not happened previous to yesterday. Edinburgh is not that far from Erie. But for some reason, we just had not all hung out yet. So it's nice to hang with y'all. If Jill lived closer, I'm sure she would have joined us, but she's like 4 hours away. So until we get our private jet for the show, that's just not going to happen soon. So I'm excited for Steeler football. Tough day for me personally. Just I'm going to get this out of the way. 2 years ago today was when I lost my wife. So if I lose it at certain times, y'all have to pick up the slack because it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
We got you, James.
We are here. We love you. We support you. And I'm continuing to pray for you. And I'm sure the two below me are as well on screen.
Absolutely.
But nothing that listen, if she was here, James, she'd be so happy we're still doing the show.
No doubt.
So as a Cleveland Browns fan, she was a supporter for sure.
And the reason
we'll forgive her for that.
Let's be real. She was the reason this all started. She was all over me to start something. She said people needed to hear what I had to say. So I reached out to Cody and we started the Steelers podcast. So
wow.
Here we are, what, 7 years? 7 years into this now?
We started in 2019. So yeah, I think this is our 7th season that we'll be covering. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, it's gonna be a fun time. Listen, let's transition right into it. Jaylen Warren, the man, the myth, the legend, the new number one back for the Steelers, arguably number 1/2. People think Caleb Johnson is going to take a lot of snaps this year, and I'm fine with that. I like a committee running room, honestly. But Jaylen Warren does get a 2-year extension, full deal worth 3 years, $17.5 million. I think that's well deserved. But what are your guys' thoughts? A lot of people didn't think he'd stick around after his rookie contract, and I'm very happy he's here.
I am as well, and I don't think it's too surprising that a lot of people didn't think that because he is the first Steelers running back since Willie Parker to get a second contract with the Steelers. Coincidentally, they're cousins, which is something I found out. Just a really kind of cool little tidbit there that I saw on, I believe it was Cam Hayward was doing a podcast. But yeah, really excited to have Warren back. He's an angry runner. He's a very solid back to have on contract for a while. I'm excited to see what we can do with him and Caleb as the tandem for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like he's got grit, and that's something we lack sometimes in running backs that we had in the past. So I'm excited that he's staying around.
I'll tell you guys, for me, this is the one that's going to get it today.
There it is.
Here's to Jaylen Warren. Well-deserved. He has worked extremely hard. He's done everything this team has asked him, from returning kicks to being the third down man to taking on blitzing linebackers and absolutely stoning them in the hole. Just absolutely the effort that this man has done, going from an undrafted free agent where his signing bonus was only $12,000 to getting this deal where he's making over $5 million a year, almost $6 million a year now under this current contract. I love it. I think he earned every penny of it. I'm glad that he's going to be in town for a couple more years now. That does, however, kind of throw a grenade at my whole prediction of Caleb Johnson taking over the starting role by week 6. But I'm happy for Jaylen Warren nonetheless. And honestly, I think this is good for the development of Caleb Johnson too, because now you can bring him along slowly. You don't have to thrust him out there, and he has to be a good protector right now. He has to be a good pass blocker. No, he doesn't. We can work on that. And if that's not till year 2 or 3 that he's a good pass blocker, that's fine. Because you've got 2 other guys on the roster in that room that are very comfortable doing so, that are very good on third down, and he can develop into that instead of being thrust into the role and then maybe struggling more than he might have otherwise. I love it. Jaylen really deserves it. Seems like a good dude. I'm glad he's with the team for an extra 2 years now.
Yeah, very excited for that. Something else to be excited for if you're into buying jerseys, new players have new numbers. So we're going to go over this real quick. YA Black switching from the number 78 to 94. I love to see that.
Love a big boy number on a big boy.
Max Hurleman, my man, my myth, and my legend, switching from number 34 to 84. So I want to see somebody perform well in 84 after AB. I really want to see that number mean something to Pittsburgh again, as dumb as it sounds. James, the next guy.
Sezi Otomewo
Yep, there we
went
go.
from 72 to 93. I like that for that change as well. Good defensive lineman number. I like 93 on D linemen, on linebackers, any of that. Andres Pete went from 68 to 71. I don't think that's going to make a big difference. I hope he doesn't play too much. Not because I think he sucks, just because he's a backup offensive lineman. And that means somebody got hurt.
Yep.
Deshaun Jameson went from 17 to 38, probably a little bit more appropriate defensive back number.
Yep.
And then Trey Sermon, the running back, going from 27 to 37. I don't think either one's that good of a running back number, to be honest. So,
well, I could say this. When I think of 27, I don't think of any real big names except for maybe Eddie Lacy, I think, for 27. And when I think of 37, I think of Sean Alexander.
That's what
37. 37 in my mind is a little bit of a better running back number, but not drastically.
Yeah. I think Carnell Lake with the Steelers, and that's a safety, so that doesn't really do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
The only other number I will comment on is Pete. I do hope we see some of Pete, because I hope that we are so far ahead by the end of the season that we can rest all of our starters and not have to worry about playoff berth. So I do hope we see a lot of Pete towards the end of the season. We don't have to play our starting O-line to make it to the playoffs.
Listen, I'll say this. It doesn't matter who I see in there. I know where I want to see them, and I want to see them playing at the Edinburgh Hotel Bar.
Absolutely. Not playing at the hotel bar, just eating too.
Supporters of Steelers by the Lake podcast include the Edinburgh Hotel Bar, serving a variety of lunch and dinner items every day from their location at 100 Meadville Street in downtown Edinburgh. Information is available at 814-734-5103 or online at edinburghhotelbar.com. The Edinburgh Hotel Bar, where you had me at hotel.
And you'll have me and Cody at the hotel for the game this weekend. So
tomorrow, 1 o'clock, baby. We'll be there. I will be enjoying. I don't know what I'll be enjoying. I'll be enjoying something.
Sarah's already told me we're getting the onion rings, and I'm not complaining.
That's fine. I'm onion rings all day long. Listen, their sweet potato fries. Whatever that dipping stuff is, the brown sugar stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Listen, I'm about to look.
The only time going there. The only time we're excited about browns is for the brown sugar on the sweet potatoes.
Oh man. We also announced team captains. So just like here on Steelers by the Lake, there's us 4 team captains. We have 4 team captains on the team. And that is Cam Hayward, defensive team captain, TJ Watt, defensive team captain, Miles Killebrew, special teams team captain, and then Aaron Rodgers, offensive team captain. It kind of checks out. It makes sense. It is what it is.
No surprises.
No surprises there at all. I think you could make the argument for Boswell for special teams team captain, but it's like, I don't know. Miles Killebrew's, I feel like, more involved in all aspects of special teams, like with blocking and stuff like that. So I love that. And he's a punt blocking specialist. So
he's due too. I think he didn't get any last year. He's like every other year he blocks 2 punts.
He's like 4.
So he's definitely.
Who blocked one last year?
Your
Jeremiah
boy,
Moon had one.
Jeremiah Moon.
yeah, Moon
Okay.
got one. Yep.
I couldn't remember. I know somebody did. I just wasn't sure who. So that was exciting. Some news before we go into talking about this week's game. We're going to go over the Jets roster. If you haven't been here for one of these shows, it's a preview show for week 1. We're going to go over the Jets roster. We're going to go over break down their depth chart. We're going to look at the injury updates for both teams and then share our previously 3 keys to success. Well, this year we have these 2 lovely other people with us, and we're going to knock it down to 2 as to not repeat a bunch and have just too many out there. So, but Steelers did release Robert Woods. Sad, somewhat. I think we all kind of hoped to get more out of him than what he did. He didn't even make the roster. I mean, that put it in perspective.
I honestly didn't think we should have signed him in the first place, but I mean, we see the end result, so hindsight's 2020. So,
yeah. Also released offensive lineman Aiden Williams from the practice squad, so both those guys are gone, and then we signed Lance McCutcheon and linebacker John.
I'm gonna go Radigan on this. I don't know that that's
Yeah.
for sure it, but I think Radigan is
Radigan.
That's what it looks
gonna be
like
a
to me.
pronunciation. Yeah,
supposedly a special teams beast.
yeah. Had like 44 special teams tackles in the last like 3 years or something. So he's a specialist in covering kicks and punts. So that could come into play depending on the health of certain linebackers on the Steelers. Let's say if Nick Herbig can't go, he's questionable with a hamstring. You might see Radigan get promoted just for his special teams value.
Yeah, he's played with Seattle and Carolina up to this point in his career. So he does have a fumble recovery, so that's exciting.
And being productive in Carolina in the past couple of years was not the easiest thing. So that proves well for him. So I'm excited to see what he can do for us if he does get the shot to play some ball.
Might have had an unfair advantage as far as punt coverage opportunities, though. He might have had
That is fair.
It's true. It's true. Lots of punting.
Just saying. Let's punt it over to the Jets roster now and start talking about our first opponent of this regular season. We always talk about that team first, kind of give you a heads up who's on the team, what to expect from them, give our opinions on it, and then we'll talk about the injury and get into our keys to success here. All starts at the quarterback position, and we all know Justin Fields. We were very familiar with him. He will be starting for them as long as he is healthy this entire season. The running back room, Breece Hall, a very explosive, fast running back. Andrew Beck, their fullback. Not everybody carries one these days, but they do. Wide receivers, they list Allen Lazard, Josh Reynolds, and Garrett Wilson as the starting 3. Kind of not as good after Garrett Wilson. So he's the guy you really got to clamp down on. Tight end, Jeremy Ruckert, with Mason Taylor backing him up. That's the rookie that's Hall of Famer Jason Taylor's son. Offensive line, left to right, Olu Fashanu, the former Penn State Nittany Lion, the starting left tackle. John Simpson starting at left guard. He's kind of been around the league a little bit. I don't know that he's had a ton of starting experience, but I feel like he was like a top backup for the Bills possibly. At center, they have listed both Joe Tippmann and Josh Myers as starters. Since then, we found out that Elijah Vera Tucker, their best offensive lineman and starting right guard, went down for the season with a torn tricep.
Yeah.
So Joe Tippmann is going to slide over to right guard, and he'll be starting there, which is an important matchup we'll talk about later. Right tackle Armand Membu is a rookie high draft pick for the Jets. So they've got that rookie right tackle, and then a guy sliding over to right guard who has only played like 150 snaps as a professional at right guard, mostly center and left guard for his experience. So that right side for them is going to be a really important thing because Armand Membu, the rookie, is going to be going up against TJ Watt. I would expect their tight end to be helping all day long, but that right guard is not necessarily going to be something that he has chemistry with or can really lean on. And the reason that a 6'6" center is playing on the interior and not on the exterior is because of arm length. You guys know I love to talk about arm length. He does not have the longest arms in the world. Y.A. Black might be in competition for the longest arms in the world. So that matchup is one I'm going to be looking at all day long. Loudermilk does not have great length, so that'll probably be an even matchup there. They seem to be the 2 favorites for the most reps replacing Derek Harmon with his injury this upcoming week. Anybody got anything they want to add to any of those groups? Anything they're looking forward to with Justin Fields coming up against our defense again, or any of these players you're worried about?
I think Justin's gonna have a tough time. I think Pittsburgh saw a lot with him, and I think he's gonna have a tough time against us. The big threat here is obviously gonna be the running back group, because I'm not sure how our run defense is gonna start this year.
Yes.
And then Garrett Wilson, in my mind, you just got to shut him down.
I'm not overly worried about Garrett Wilson because, in my opinion, that's where the threat of the wide receiver room stops. Not that Alan Lazard is a slouch, but when you have the when you have the corner room that we have this year, and we have Deshaun Elliott at safety, Juan Thornhill was looking really good in the preseason. I'm not particularly worried about this Jets receiver core. They drafted Malachi Corley, I think, in the first or second round. He's not even with the team. They let him go this year. So I'm really not overly worried about a lot of their pass catchers as much as I'm worried about maybe Breece Hall receiving the ball and then making some moves on us. They're also head coach Aaron Glenn is more of a defensive-minded coach. And he also has mentioned that they're more likely than not going to be doing a committee between Hall and Braylon Allen, who was a rookie, I believe, last year. So we'll see a lot more of him as well. And he's a hard runner. I don't know what his receiving chops in college were like, and we didn't see too much of him in our matchup last year. I think he had one run for 12 yards or something like that. So I'm not too worried about receiving. I think our run defense, like you said, Cody, is going to be tested here a lot. So I'll be anxious to see how that goes. But seeing as we have YA hopefully doing a lot of the reps there, I'm excited to see it, despite the fact that I think that's where we're going to have to really put forth a lot of effort to stop things. So, especially with Fields' ability to scramble too.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's what I think our defense might start out a little shaky, and then hopefully throughout the game get it together. But I have a feeling it's going to start a little rough. They might be able to rush. Like, I just think, and I know we'll talk about this later, but making sure that Justin Fields is not rushing. But there was like a crazy stat I heard from the Steelers Depot about like his record when he rushes for more than 60 yards. And it's like 2-11 or something like that. I was like, oh, but then you have to look at like the team that he was playing with before us. So anyway, but I think just stop it, like making sure that we're stopping the run. But I don't think we're going to see that right from the get-go. I think they're going to get some crazy yardage at first, and then we'll shut it down.
I think you guys are really on track here. The offensive backfield is where all the danger is for me. And Garrett Wilson is a very good wide receiver, but I just think that there isn't a matchup that he's going to have that's a favorable one for him. You know, all three of our corners can lock him down, I think, with success. So I'm not as worried about that. Rush lane integrity is going to be everything in this game. Justin Fields takes a lot of sacks for a mobile quarterback. Was one of the league leaders his entire career in Chicago on taking sacks. Kind of was the same story while he was with Pittsburgh, taking a lot of unnecessary sacks. If you stay in your lanes, he gets jittery in the pocket and kind of scrambles into pressure sometimes. Yep. This is a linebacker duo that might be one of the most athletic in the entire NFL, in my opinion, with Joe's boy Patrick Queen and then Peyton Wilson. That's a very athletic duo that I think can hang with Justin Fields as far as if he starts scrambling, I think they can hawk him down. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be everything in this game, is being able to make sure that you take his legs away. Mm-hmm. Also, another thing I heard on Steelers Depot, I love hearing other people listen to them too. When Justin Fields' opponent scores 21 points or more in his career, he is 0 for 22.
Dang.
So the goal is very simple. Get the 21 points and you will win this game.
Stats don't lie.
I like it.
No, that's fair.
Cody, you got anything to add to this before we move to the defense?
Nope. Let's bounce on over.
All right. Sounds good. We're going to start in the defensive front with a highly touted and high draft pick Will McDonald, the fourth at one defensive end position. Jermaine Johnson and Michael Clemens on the other. Sounds like it might be kind of a platoon between the two of those guys. On the inside, they've got Quinnen Williams and Harrison Phillips listed as starters, with Jay Tufele and Jawan Briggs backing them up. So we've got some skill and some ability on these pass rushers. I believe Will McDonald lines up on the same side for us. That'll be the Troy Fautanu side. So that puts Jermaine Johnson and Michael Clemens over on Broderick's side, which I think is a better idea for Pittsburgh. That'll allow him to kind of ease into things, and instead of going against like one of the top pass rushers in the NFL right away. Linebacker wise, they have Marcelino McRae Ball, Jamie and Sherwood, and Quincy Williams. Quincy has really kind of made a splash since coming in as a 5th-round pick. And that was one of those, this is just the brother of Quinn, and that's the whole reason they got him. Well, it turns out he's a good linebacker. So that's a good group of players, but my understanding is that they don't always do as well against tight ends. That could work out well for Pittsburgh. Defensive backfield, the starting nickelback for them is Michael Carter the second, not to be confused with his dad. Sauce Gardner and Brandon Stevens at starting corners, and then Andre Sisco and Tony Adams at safety. There is one defensive back that I am concerned about out of all these guys, and that is Sauce Gardner, who has had a lot of success actually going up against DK Metcalf. Outside of that, I think our wide receivers could really eat in this game if they get the ball thrown to them.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say about Sauce, which we'll obviously get to this here shortly, is he is dealing with a leg injury. So there's a chance that is, in favor of us, and maybe DK can make a move. He's going to be locked on DK the whole game. I don't see anything else happening. Or maybe even double teaming with a safety, depending on how this goes. But no, I'm with you. The two guys that scare me on this team are Sauce Gardner when he's playing well and when he's not injured, and then Quinnen Williams on that defensive front. Quinnen Williams having another good sack year last year with 6. He's hungry for some wins is what I saw in a report. And I think Quinnen Williams is probably the biggest threat to both pass rush and run stopping on that defensive front. So if we can kind of control him at the line of scrimmage, I think we can have really control over how we play on offense.
Nothing to add. Great analysis.
Nothing.
No,
nothing.
The thoughts are the same.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just a little concerned about our O-line. I feel like I just go into the season concerned about our O-line because it's not a standout O-line, in my opinion. And so I'm worried going in that we'll be able to actually control, especially since Aaron Rodgers, we've got a 41-year-old quarterback that we have to protect. He cannot hit the ground. He can't. And I'm a little concerned that we will not be able to protect him in the way that we should. And luckily, at least he's got the years on him, so he knows how to read a field. We're not battling that newcomer. I don't know who to even read for. He knows where his reads are at, so he can be quick when he's in the pocket. But I want our O-line to keep him safe, do their job.
I understand your concern. Excuse me. I think it's a big jump for Pittsburgh from last year to this year because Russell Wilson and Justin Fields were known for two of the slowest snap to release as far as when they threw the ball in their careers. Aaron Rodgers, one of the fastest ones. So I think he's going to read that defense and get the ball out. I'm with you as far as Quinnen Williams. That's a massive individual. And I feel like our interior offensive linemen, I like the group. I think Zach Frazier could be a Pro Bowler this year. I like the upwards trajectory of Mason McCormick. I worry that Isaac Seumalo is not what he was when he was younger and might struggle with really big, really strong dudes. And we're going to find out if those two match up in this game. If this is like the beginning of the end of Seumalo's career, we're going to find out for sure.
Yeah.
What I would like to see Pittsburgh do is on the first play of this game, offensive play, and I know y'all are going to want to hear this. I want a run play. I want to toss to DK's side and I want DK to put Sauce in the stands. Take him and run block him and put him on the dirt, put him on his back, and put him on defensive right out of the gate so that he's a little bit more, oh, well, maybe I should take an extra step back just in case this is a run play. Put him on defense right out of the gate. DK has the ability to do this. As long as he doesn't start swinging after he gets him on the ground, we're good. but
Or spitting.
yeah, or spitting. Yeah, because only quarterbacks get away with that. So yeah, that's what I would like to see, is set the tone early in this game. Let DK take advantage of his strength. Not that Sauce is a tiny dude, but he's nowhere near the size that DK is. And I think if you can take away some of that aggressiveness early in the game, you might be able to win that matchup a little more, because Aaron's going to want to throw to him.
Yeah.
The shiny new toy is DK Metcalf, and he wants to give him the ball. But if Sauce has him blanketed all day long, just don't throw it. The other guys will be open.
Yeah.
Well, if you can pull some of those 3 tight end sets too, especially in the run game, put Darnell Washington out there, and he can bully Sauce right along with DK.
Yeah.
I remember him bullying Darius Slay last year, starting a little bit of a scuffle in the end zone or out the end zone. I saw an interview with Slay, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still a little mad about that, but we talked it out, so we're good."
Yeah.
So
he's like, he tried to bully me. No, he did bully you. He absolutely bullied you.
So I mean, we've got the guys to bully him, and James has foreshadowed a few of my keys here already. So once we get to that, we'll be discussing further, I'm sure.
All right, before we go on to the next topic, Cody, you got more? Go ahead.
Just a fun fact: Mike Tomlin is 5-5 in his career as a head coach against the Jets.
About to make it 6-5.
Got to stay above 500.
Unless we start the season with a tie somehow, which would be so anticlimactic. This is
but so Tomlin.
Specialists, we can't forget them, because sometimes teams like the Cincinnati Bengals do, and then they lose games because of it. Kicker Nick Folk will be their starting kicker. Punter and placeholder Austin McNamara. And then the long snapper, Thomas Hennessy. What a great last name. Punt return and kick returns, they've got Xavier Gibson and Kenny. Man, I should have skipped this. Naguanu, I'm going to say. And then we've also have Isaiah Davis slated as the backup punt return man. So that is your specialists, not to be forgotten, because long snappers matter too.
They do.
Sure do.
We're going to bounce over, talk injuries, and then talk about our 2 keys to success, and then share our score predictions, not scare our short predictions. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, Nick Herbig dealing with a hamstring injury, limited practice all week, listed as questionable. Derek Harmon with a knee injury, didn't participate all week. He's listed as out. Cameron Hayward with the contusion to the birth certificate. He didn't participate on Thursday, full participation on Friday. He will be a go. And then Skylar Thompson with the hamstring injury. He's limited participation on Friday, listed as questionable. Hopefully we don't need to play him, because that would be a big problem.
Amen.
And then on the Jets side, Chukuma Okorafor, the offensive tackle who we're very familiar with a hand injury, limited Thursday, Friday, questionable for the game status. Yeah, really. Elijah Vera Tucker. I almost said Alejandro Villanueva because I saw AV. Tricep injury, didn't participate all week. He's listed as out. We already talked about that. This is the second time he's dealing with that same injury too, which is crazy. Yeah, that'd be bad. Sauce Gardner with the fibula injury, full participation the last 2 days. He's gonna play. Tyrod Taylor listed with a knee injury, full participation last 2 days. He'll be a backup. And then Essa Pohl, the offensive tackle with an ankle injury, didn't participate on Friday. He is listed as out. He was a backup anyways. So not a big list, but give it time. Those lists will be much longer by week 4 or 5 because that's just how the NFL season works.
Yeah. The big takeaway for me here is their 2 backup offensive tackles, both listed as either questionable or out. And this is addition to already losing Elijah Vera Tucker, the starting right guard. So they're very thin for the Jets. They could be one injury away from starting a practice squad guy at one of the tackle positions. So That's a real interesting note there. And boy, do I like either one of our starting outside linebackers versus a practice squad tackle.
Yeah.
Yep, I love that too. Well, guys, it's time for our 2 keys to success.
Snake draft style. Who wants
Yep.
to go first in this? Because whoever goes first is going last, and then second will go 7th, and you get the idea.
Yeah.
Should we start with Jill since she wasn't with us for the last snake predictions we did?
Yeah, let's start with Jill. That's fine.
All right.
Ladies first.
Oh, thank you. Wow, so kind. I wrote down 5 because I was like, I'm sure we all think the same. So
yeah, very similar.
One of the 5. I think one of our biggest keys to success is keep Justin Fields off the field. And shut down his run game. I mean, we've got to make sure that we control him. He's not rushing. I think you win football games by keeping your offense on the field. So one key to success is making sure that we have long, sustained, controlled offensive drives to keep Justin Fields off the field.
Yep, I like it. Nick?
Yeah, I had something similar in contain Justin, but I won't dive into that because that's basically the same. So I'm going to go with my biggest, in my opinion, key to success, and that's attack the middle of the field. I think that with DK most likely seeing Sauce the whole game, even if Aaron does get to target him, attacking the middle of the field was not a strong suit of us last year. And I believe we can do that with Aaron now. Arthur Smith has mentioned that that's going to be something he's going to try to do more now that we have the capability to do so. So I think that will give us a real good shot because with DK being the real receiving threat in our wide receiver room, I have a feeling a lot of defenses are going to have the safeties kind of pull over to his side to kind of help out with him. So that should then open up the run game a little bit more if we can control the line. And then also give us the option to attack the middle of the field and be able to sort of use that to our advantage. So I think that's going to be a huge thing for us in this game and going forward for the season for sure.
James, you want to go?
I'll go third, sure. So my first key here is going to be a red zone key. And I think you have to take advantage of the monster in the middle. The monster in the middle for me is Darnell Washington. The middle linebackers here struggle against their pass coverage at times. The safeties are not names that strike fear into the hearts of men. This should be a matchup where you can put Darnell over the middle, and even if he's double teamed, still throw it to him with success. And I think Aaron is going to just look at this as an ability to kind of like stat pad for him. Like, it's almost like a cheat code, like that play that's unstoppable in a video game, and you know it, and no matter what the opponent does, they can't stop you. Darnell Washington is that play in the red zone. So monster in the middle, pass it to Darnell in the red zone, and I think he could easily come away with some touchdowns in this game.
Ball forward, push it.
Yep.
QB sneak with Darnell Washington.
With Darnell Washington.
Tush push.
Tush push, that is. My key is going to be controlling the clock, getting back to Steelers football, pounding the rock. I want to see, and this is kind of like with my key to success, kind of a bold prediction a little bit. I want to see Pittsburgh rush for 150 yards combined. I want to see Jaylen Warren. I want to see Caleb Johnson. I want to see Aaron Rodgers get involved, man. If something's not there and you can scramble out, I want to see Aaron show his youth that isn't there anymore and run for a little bit. So I would love to see us even have a couple rushing touchdowns, but ultimately, control the clock, win the time of possession, and really ideally rush for 150 yards.
All right, Cody, that puts you back up.
Oh, it's me again. I didn't plan this out well.
Snake.
Oh.
All right, that's fine.
Snake.
I'll go with the one that I wanted to go with originally. I think Pittsburgh puts up 10 points in this game. They win. I think the key to success is put at least one touchdown on the board and get in field goal range once. I think you put up 10 or more points, you win.
Whew. That is a very bold prediction.
Bold.
I like it, Cody. All right, so For me, my second one, I am going to be not as bold on that, but I'm going to go with the statistic line of 21 points. Justin Fields has yet to get a win in his career when his opponent scores 21 points or more. So to me, the goal is simple. Get 21 points on the board, and then you almost don't even have to worry about what he does because he just historically doesn't score that much. So that's going to be my key to success on this one is get at least 21 points on the board, and then I think we're locking down a Steelers victory in week 1.
I am going to go with win the trenches, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. I know we highlighted a little bit of a worry with our offensive line, some bigger names on their defensive line, and that is a point of concern for me. I know we also mentioned Rodgers' ability to get the ball out quick, which I think is in our favor. I was looking over his statistics from last year with the Jets, and his average was 2.69. Nice. Seconds to get the ball out before the opposing line could get to him. So he is definitely. I think that was like the 6th in the league last year in terms of getting the ball out quickly. So Aaron definitely has the ability. I don't want him to have the ability. I want the line to be able to hold up. I know that he has it and can utilize it if he needs to, but I'd rather him be able to go through his progressions and be able to make the best play rather than having to just make the quick one. So I hope the line can hold up, keep him upright. I think that will be a huge strength of ours because looking over the game last year, and I know we have Rodgers now and they have Fields now, but looking over the game last year, one of their bigger strengths was passing. We actually held up pretty well against the run, and Breece Hall actually burned us more in the passing game than he did in the run game. So having Aaron Rodgers on the team now, I think our passing attack is just going to be that much better, and I'm excited for it.
So in terms of summarizing what your goal is it passing success or is it protecting Rodgers?
Protecting Rodgers.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I want to see no more than 1 sack. I want to see no sacks ideally, but I think if we take more than one, Rodgers is going to get a little banged up and all that kind of stuff. So ideally, no more than 1 sack.
All right, 1 sack or less. I can handle that. I couldn't write down the whole monologue. I needed.
No, you're good. You're good.
Joe, that means you get to finish things up for us. What is your final prediction? Hopefully, we didn't take them all.
You didn't, and I just thought of one as we were talking, so I'm going to go with this one, but I think it's clean football, making sure that we are not drawing penalties, that we are not letting our emotions get the best of us, whether that's extreme positive or extreme negative. Like
Broderick.
Well, with him being back at left tackle, I'm hopeful we won't be making silly mistakes that we've made the past couple of seasons, but
yeah,
looking literally right at him and Ramsey, don't be active, come out, make your statement, but we all know the refs are hardcore the first 2 games about all of this, personal fouls and whatnot. And so they're extra trying to make a statement. And so I think you come out, you clean football, you get your job in the best way you know how, and don't draw a penalty. Maybe later on in the season when they don't care as much, but they always care about us. So it doesn't matter. You have to play clean football if you play for the Steelers. It can be physical, but it has to be clean. I feel like we saw a really good example of that in preseason with that clean hit. That's what I want to see. That gives you the statement that you need without drawing any unnecessary yards against us. So.
Yep. I like it. I like that a lot. Also, to go back on my 150 yards rushing, Pittsburgh's 14-2 in the 2020s when they rush for 150 yards. Just saying.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's going to bring us to score predictions, right, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it backwards. Let's not put all the pressure on Jill. She can go.
Oh, I was ready.
Oh, then
She's
go.
ready.
Go for it.
She's
Same order.
Ready?
Do it, lady.
I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I hope I'm wrong. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game only because I'm a little concerned about how much we're going to try to target Metcalf. Like, I know Steelers offense, and we just love to hit the same people over and over. And even though I would love creative tight ends and run and all this rushing, like, I do hope we see it, but I think it's going to be low-ish scoring. I'm predicting 17-10 for the Steelers. So I think the defense will do its job. They'll hold them to top one score and a field goal. But I'm going to make a bold prediction. We will win this game if we score a touchdown on the opening drive.
Ooh.
We will win if we actually do that.
We like that.
So.
We like that.
Jill is trying to manifest no 3-and-outs to start the season.
No, you know what? That's my key to success. If I see a 3-and-out,
she's turning off the TV at the bar.
We all know I could never.
At the bar. She's just going back behind the bar, shutting that TV off. Turn his TV off. Anyway.
She practically runs the place.
Takes the jersey off, throws it on the ground, done.
Jill, real quick, just give a light shout out to your bar back in Ohio.
Gresso's. It's great. It's in Columbus, and it's the best Steelers bar in Columbus. So shout out Gresso's. We love you.
You're in Columbus. Gresso's is where to go.
These screens.
Right. You might not be able to watch the game because I'm gonna turn it off, but I couldn't. I'd be too stressed out doing that. Like, me not watching the game is more stressful than me watching the game.
Yeah. Yep. Nick?
I'm kind of going the opposite of Jill here. I think that the Justin Fields revenge game is going to play a little bit into this. And not that the Aaron Rodgers game won't, but I think Rodgers is more experienced, doesn't have as much of a tie to the Jets as Fields might feel slighted by the Steelers for not getting a contract. So I think that Rodgers is just going to want to win and go out there and put up points. I think Fields is going to want to go out there and say, hey, I got it, and I'm going to prove to you, the team that didn't want to sign me, that I got it. So I'm predicting still a Steelers win, but I'm predicting a little bit higher of a score with 35-24.
Ooh. Okay.
And I'm also going to give a little shout out here, not to a bar, but a good friend of mine, a coworker, her son is a huge Steelers fan, was in a really bad car accident a couple weeks ago. He's at Children's in Pittsburgh, but he's recovering. And I just want to say, Christian, shout out to you, my guy. You're a strong little guy. You're a fighter, and we're definitely cheering for you, just like we're cheering for the Steelers. So shout out to Christian.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm going to stick with your score on the 24 aspect, but Pittsburgh's going to get the dub in this one, 24-7. Yes, I agree they'll win if they get more than 10, but I think they'll get more than 10.
I like how Cody decided the order didn't matter anymore.
I was just looking on the screen. You're right. Sorry, James. I wanted to make sure you didn't say 24.
All right, that's fair. I wasn't going that way anyway. For me, I'm looking at a 24-13 win for the Steelers. Okay. I think Justin Fields has just enough juice in those legs to get him in field goal range. But boy, does he struggle to convert those drives and get them into the end zone. So I think they'll have 3 successful drives, with one of them being a touchdown, probably a Justin Fields scramble, and then a couple of field goals. But I think Aaron Rodgers has a real point to prove here. He is not happy about how things were handled at the end of his career there with the Jets. He came in for his after-season interview expecting to be there for 3 or 4 hours, talking about the plan for the upcoming season, and after 15 minutes was getting booted out of the room and told he didn't have a job anymore. He took that very personally and is still not happy about how that was handled. He probably could have handled himself a little bit better in New York with some of the things he said and whatnot. But regardless, I'm happy he's a Steeler, and I'm happy he's mad at the Jets.
Especially with the week 1 game.
Yeah. So I think we get in the end zone a number of times, and we're going 24-13, Pittsburgh with a win on week 1 and starting off 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, we would love to hear your guys' score predictions if you're watching or listening. Also, your 2 keys to success. Let us know. And if you happen to hit on something that we might not have thought of or didn't get to, and it's a big deal, we will definitely give you a shout out on the next show.
I forgot to ask a question.
Ask a question.
I want to know, what are your superstitions going into a game?
Oh, yes.
I got to know, because we all have them.
Yes. For me, it's Steelers jersey, very relevant, right? So, say if I rock this Polamalu tomorrow, and they don't win the game, I might not wear it again the rest of the season. So
He has enough jerseys. He can do that. We saw them last night.
the jerseys are jinxed, in my opinion, after a loss. That loss is washed off for the next season and does not follow into it. Otherwise, I'd be in a world of hurt. But that also goes for socks. Sometimes I have a number of Steelers socks. And if I start seeing a bad pattern with a pair of socks and losing games, yeah, those are getting retired for Sundays.
Interesting.
Nick?
Mine's more so just like making sure I get to track the game in some way, shape, or form. Because I feel like every time that I'm not watching the game or getting an update on the scores, we just play poorly. And I don't know why it is, but if I'm just not paying attention, I always feel like something goes wrong. So
Nick.
not that I'm that important or anything, but
No,
it's just
they need
weird.
you.
It's just like when I'm not following it, it's just like I always like when I'm following it, I feel like it's just that I get mad if we're not doing good. But when I'm not following it, it's like I refuse to follow it by listening to the radio. Because every time I listen to the radio broadcast, we lose. It's just it's inevitable. So I do not listen to the radio broadcast. I have to watch it or get the score updates on my phone. No radio.
The goal is simple here. I have to kidnap Nick every single Sunday now.
Oh.
Don't mind me. I'm just making sure nobody can recognize me as I come through the halls to go kidnap
As
Nick.
there's now evidence of him wearing this on the internet.
Ties me down, makes me watch the game.
You have no choice, Nick. The win is more important.
The win is more important. Yes.
I think for me, superstitions, I used to have a little bit more when I used to have just more Steelers attire that fit. Right now I don't have a whole lot. That's why you see me wearing this hoodie a lot or just a jersey. I don't have a lot of Steelers clothes. So it used to be socks. James, the Juju socks I used to have, and then Juju left. Actually, those socks got stolen first. But like for me, it used to be article of clothing or jersey. I don't have enough to retire them for the season like James does. Sometimes it's where I'm watching. Like if I'm at the hotel bar one week and they destroy a team, I'm going back to the hotel bar. Like it doesn't matter. Like sometimes if I'm watching at home, I'll do that. I think that matters more than anything. But also if I'm watching at home and there's a commercial break in the third quarter or fourth quarter, and I know we're on defense, I will play Renegade. I will get myself excited. So that's probably the biggest one that I do. I do that even when I'm playing Madden in the third quarter. I'll like stop, I'll pause the game and turn on the music. So that's probably the biggest one is the music for me.
Well, that's funny because I'm a little combination of you and James, Cody. So I will wear a jersey. If we lose, I will not wear a jersey until we win again because they don't deserve it. So I'll wear something Pittsburgh related, but it will not be a jersey until we win again. But before every game, I always have to drink out of the same Steeler mug for my coffee. That's just what I have to do. And then I listen to Renegade specifically when I turn on the street. Like if I'm going to watch it at my bar. Yeah, I will turn, like, as soon as I turn on the street, I will blast Renegade. Just absolutely have to do it. And then they also play Renegade at the third quarter. I'm always the person yelling, play Renegade. And then they play it. We all take the chairs and like slam them into the ground. It's pretty cool. So
we know when it's needed. Us fans know when it's needed.
We do.
So,
but I'll get mad if
they'll be playing it at a hotel too. So Renegade will be blasting through those halls.
Yep.
Just don't play it when we're on offense. That's my biggest pet peeve. They'll try to do that. I'm like, we're not on defense. Turn it off.
I got a fun one for you guys that's not as serious, but always been a joke around my house. I've always had friends over to watch the games. And if you make the mistake of being in the bathroom while a good play happens,
stay.
We joke around that you have to stay in the bathroom the rest of the game.
That's awesome.
You can't come out. The Steelers are doing good while you're in there. Stay in the bathroom.
I do walk around like my bar and I'll be like, okay, if we did good right here, I'm staying right here. And then if we did bad, I move to a different spot.
Yep. My mom does
the
that.
receptions are better when I'm standing in this corner of the room.
You can, like, my friends, if they listen to this, they'll laugh because they know. They're like, yep. I'm quite the sight to see when I watch a game.
We gotta get Jill up to Hotel Bar one of these
We
days
do.
for a game.
Yeah.
We'll get her. We'll get her up there for sure sometime this season. I am positive of it. So share your score predictions, your 2 keys to success, and your superstitions, things that you do. Let us know. Comment, email, direct message us. Let us know anyway, and we'd be happy to share those on the show. Guys, I don't know if you can hear it, but football, it's knocking. It's right around the corner, baby. It's here. We're so excited. Steelers football back tomorrow, and then we get a little break in week 5 with the bye week, but then it's Steelers football all year long, baby. And I am so excited. Can't thank you guys enough for being here, whether you're watching or listening. Be sure to like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Subscribe, ring the bell. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Don't forget 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. Make James very happy. And until next time, this is your host, James, Cody, Nick, and Jill from Ohio, signing off.
Peace.